Hi students, welcome to lesson number 24, Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Objectives of this lesson: you will be able to understand the concepts of motivation theory, to analyze the life, career contribution of Abraham Maslow, to discuss the relevance and importance of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow is known as one of the founding father of human psychology. He was best known for his work in humanist psychology called the third force. Shortcomings in the human relations approach and subsequent studies in individual motivation gave rise to the work of those writers in the 1950s and 1960s who adopted more psychological orientation. Their major focus was on the personal adjustment of the individual within the working organization. This group of writers is often categorized separately under the heading of neo-human relations. A major impetus for a neo-human relations approach was the work of Maslow, who in 1943 put forward a theoretical framework of individual personality development and motivation on hierarchy of needs. With Maslow's study also came the work by Douglas McGregor, who postulated theory X and theory Y, and Frederick Erzberg. Hygiene versus motivation, also known as satisfier, dissatisfier theory of human motivation and behavior. The term motivation is derived from the Latin word mover, meaning to move. In the organizational context, motivation implies a basic psychological process. According to Kunz and O'Donnell, motivation is a general term applying to the entire class of drives, desires, needs, wishes and similar forces that induce an individual or group of people to work. Fred Luthan stated that motivation is a process that starts with physiological or psychological deficiency or need that activates behavior or a drive that is aimed at a goal or incentive. According to Morgan, motivation is a general term referring to behavior integrated by needs and directed towards goals. Thus, motivation is a psychological process which energizes and activates individual to achieve his formulated goals. Abraham Maslow's theory of hierarchy of needs has been used to explain how effort and motivation are correlated in the context of human behavior. Each of these individual levels contains a certain amount of internal sensation that must be met in order for an individual to complete their hierarchical needs. The goal in Maslow's hierarchy of need is to attain the level or a stage of self-actualization. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is often portrayed in the shape of pyramid with the largest, most fundamental needs at the bottom and the need for self-actualization at the top. In other words, the idea is that individuals must have basic needs must be met before they become motivated to achieve higher level needs. Abraham Harold Maslow was an American social psychologist and behavioralist. He was born on April 1st, 1908 in Brooklyn, in New York. Maslow studied law at City College of New York and he obtained his graduation and post-graduation degrees in psychology from the University of Wisconsin in America. He worked for doctoral degree during the course of his study. Maslow developed a motivation theory which earned him a place of far-reaching importance in the management theory. After serving on the faculty of Brooklyn College in New York for about a decade, he was appointed to the post for professor in the Department of Psychology, Brandeis University in 1951, which he held until year 1970. He was elected President of American Humanist Association for 1967-68. Maslow is perhaps best known for his motivation theory of hierarchy of needs. As a psychological, he consistently studied how the human behavior is affected by set of human needs. His efforts were to synthesize the holistic and dynamic and the cultural emphasis, each one of which excited so many young psychologists of time. He had an academic career and worked at the University of Wisconsin and at Brandeis University. He broke his academic career between 1947 and 49 to work in industry. He conducted extensive studies of human motivation in his life period. A breakthrough occurred in 1943 when he published his famous article, A Theory of Human Motivation. His key work is Motivation and Personality, which was brought out in 1954. Maslow's major works and contributions: 1. Motivation and Personality. 2. Towards a Psychology of Being. 3. The Psychology of Science, a Reconnaissance. 4. New Knowledge in Human Values. 5. The Further Reaches of Human Nature. 6. Dominance, Self-Esteem, Self-Actualization. Germinal Papers, Abraham Maslow's. In addition to these, he published several research papers in many reputed journals. Abraham Maslow's most widely known theory of hierarchy of human needs to account for the roots of human motivation in terms of needs fulfillment. The theory is also known as satisfaction of needs theory. Maslow's hypothesis states that 1. Man is satisfaction seeking animal. 2. Even motivation to action arises from certain driving needs to all persons. 3. A satisfied need no longer motivates behavior. 4. It is only a need a person is striving to satisfy that motivates a behavior pattern. Maslow identifies 5 types of human needs. 1. Physiological needs. 2. Security or safety needs. 3. Social needs. 4. Esteem needs. And 5. Self-actualization. Maslow maintains that these needs form a hierarchical in a ascending scale with each need more basic than the next. Maslow asserts that the needs in the hierarchy arranged in a priority order with the most basic needs to be satisfied first. The basic human needs identified by Maslow in ascending order of importance. Physiological needs are the basic needs for sustaining human life itself. For instance, food, water, clothing, shelter, sleep, and physical satisfaction are the physiological needs without which people cannot survive. Maslow maintains that unless these needs are satisfied to the degree necessary to maintain life, the other needs will not be motivate people. In Maslow's scheme, human beings first seek to satisfy their physiological needs. In other words, people first want to that physical means survive. The satisfaction of these needs is essential to sustain life itself. For these reasons, the physiological needs tend to have the highest strength until they are somewhat satisfied. Security or safety needs follows the physiological needs. Once the physiological needs are reasonably met, people seek to fulfill safety and security needs, that is, a safe and structured environment. These needs, such as security from physical danger related to man's self preservation, these are the needs which enable people to live free from physical danger and fear of loss of a job, property, food, clothing or shelter, natural disasters, health, belongings, etc. As a human being, man is a social animal. After satisfying fairly the security and safety needs, human beings focus upon social needs and seek companionship, love, and a sense of belonging, affection, friends and family, nearer, dearer, etc. Thus, human encounter these needs relating to man's social life at the third level in the needs hierarchy structure. Since the people are social beings, they need appreciation and to be accepted by others. They want to establish relationship with others. Once social needs have been met, people desire at the fourth level self-respect, social status and recognition from others. Maslow calls these four type of needs in the hierarchy difficulties needs because one leaves them behind as part of one's personal development. Maslow maintains that once people being to be satisfied their appreciation needs, they want to be held in esteem or recognition by others. This kind of needs generates such satisfaction as authority, power, self-confidence, social position and prestige. Maslow regards the needs for self-actualization as the highest in the hierarchy of needs. It is the desire to become what one is capable of becoming. It is the desire to maximize one's potential and to accomplish something. When all the four types of needs, physiological, security or safety, social and esteem or recognition have been reasonably satisfied, an individual finally seeks self-actualization. By self-actualization is meant fulfill of one's personal potential or true self-fulfillment. In other words, self-actualization means becoming what one is capable of becoming. Maslow characterized the self-actualization person as one who has exceptional ability to receive reality. Arrival at the need for self-actualization is hallmark of the healthy individual. Self-actualization is a permanent need in the sense that one does not graduate to a higher need but continues to be motivated to satisfy this need only. Hence, Maslow calls it a growth need. Maslow distinguished between lower level needs, that is physiological and safety needs, and higher level needs of love, self-esteem and self-actualization. Is a theory postulates that once an individual's lower needs are satisfied, his higher needs will be released. Maslow makes the key point that none of these needs absolute. He says that a satisfied need ceases to be important as a motivator. It is only a need a person is striving to satisfy assumes importance as a motivator. As each of these needs becomes substantially satisfied, the next need becomes dominant. In terms of the individual moves up the steps of the hierarchy. According to the Maslow, the higher needs cannot be realized until the lower order needs have been met, the order of which beings at the physiological level and moves upward to finally self-actualization. To find an answer to this question, Maslow undertook as several research studies and generalized that self-actualization persons have such characteristics. They possess an unusual ability to detect the spurious, the fake, and the dishonest in the personality. They possess creativeness and originality. The lack overriding guilt and crippling shame and anxiety. They have a mission and a purpose in life. They like privacy, dignity, autonomy, and freedom to pursue their endeavors in life and work. They derive ecstasy, inspiration, and strength from the basic experiences of life. They have a deep feeling of identification, sympathy, and affection for mankind. They maintain interpersonal relations with a few people, and they are democratic and can differentiate between ends and the means and right and wrong. If Maslow's theory is accurate, it is enormous implications for administrators who need to motivate large numbers of employees in an organization. Maslow's theory has immediate implications as if the happy workers is productive workers, then work should be satisfy the workers' needs at whatever level they may be in the hierarchy. If the workers seek social activity, then the organization should provide opportunities for it. If they seek self-esteem or self-actualization, they should be given some control over the structuring of their jobs and some opportunity to participate in decision making. The need hierarchy concept is useful to manager in determining what specific need that subordinates is seeking to satisfy. Then the manager is positioned to provide opportunity for desired need to be fulfilled by the worker in return for desired work performance. Thus, Maslow's theory clearly shows that an individual's motivation to work depends on the urgency of his needs and the extent to which these needs are fulfilled through an organization in which he works. Maslow's needs hierarchy theory may render bureaucratic organization somewhat out of date. Several elements of bureaucratic organizations such as hierarchy, specialization, formalization, and impersonality usually militate against the employee's desire for meaningful work. When an employee is unable to satisfy a particular need, a state of frustration usually developed in him. Dissatisfied employees may make the organizational efficiency suffer. Therefore, Maslow's theory requires a democratization of traditional bureaucratic organizations. There is a considerable professional debate about the merits of Maslow's needs hierarchy theory. Some general criticisms have been directed against it. Firstly, Maslow offered a theory to be empirically tested, but it has never been tested adequately as a complete theory for a number of methodological reasons. Further, there is research to support both for and against Maslow's theory. Hence, some have questioned the research data on which the need hierarchy theory was developed. Secondly, critics point out that the needs as arranged by Maslow in the hierarchical pattern do not necessarily follow the same pattern in every case and all the time. There is a scope for deviation in the hierarchy of needs pattern prescribed by the Maslow. For instance, after fulfilling the physiological needs, one person may have a strong desire for self-esteem. Another may have desire for love and friendship. A person may also sacrifice his lower needs for a specific period to satisfy his higher needs. Thirdly, many people may be at the same level in the hierarchy of needs, but nonetheless motivated by different stimuli. For instance, some members of the work organization may satisfy their self-esteem need by earning more money. For others, the same esteem need may be satisfied by acquiring increasing power in the organization. Thus, there are a number of ways to satisfy the same need in the hierarchy. Maslow's theory does not seem to explain this variation in the strength of the same need in different individuals. Lastly, Maslow's categories are broad and vague. For instance, is the concept of self-actualization is criticized as vague, imprecise and too general unless is categorized or further refined. They seem to offer a little connection between the design of work and motivation in the workplace. This problem has been addressed by Frederick Edgeberg and his associates. Abraham Maslow has made great contribution to our understanding of the nature of motivation. Is a distinct approach to motivation has greatly influenced the practice of modern management. Maslow's ideas, more attuned to literature and the humanities, emphasized man's positive features and his capacity for personal growth and achievement. Although Maslow's theory has not won universal acceptance, his ideas have greatly influenced the other humanists and behavioral scientists such as Chris Ergris, Douglas McGregor, Rensis Likert and Frederick Edgeberg.